Okay, good afternoon all, and welcome to the online class in the subject Salesforce Management conducted for MBA Semester 4 students. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Onjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so this is part 2 of the discussion on chapter number 13, Sales Territories. Okay. So I'll just take a quick recap of what we have discussed in the previous slide, previous part. So we understood what is a sales territory in the previous class. So we also discussed the benefits of having a good territory design. We briefly learned the procedure for designing sales territories, and we also learned what are control units. And thereafter, okay, in detail we went on to learn how to build a territory or how to design a territory using build up method. So for which we not only considered the steps involved in territorial design by using build up method, but also okay, we considered a illustration. So I hope we can recall the illustration. Okay. Then from here, so I'll continue today's class. So this slide explains about the territory size and workload factors. So how they're related. So these are the workload factors and this is the territory size. So depending on the nature of job, if lots of pre-sale and post-sale activities are involved, as in case of industrial marketing or B2B marketing, territory size decreases as the sales rep has to spend more time on each account or each customer for these activities. Nature of product. If the nature of product is frequently purchased, okay, if the product is frequently purchased, okay, so it just repeat purchase, okay, so it will be habitual buying. Customer may get into habitual buying behavior by way of placing repeat orders. Okay, that's why the territory size decreases as the sales rep have to keep in touch more frequently with the customer. And if it is a limited repeat sale, okay, so if the sale is okay, if the repeat sale, if the repeat sale is limited, if the product is replaced, okay, at a lesser frequency, okay, the territory size increases. Okay, so I can give you an example of one of my student who was working for mechanical seals, okay, used in chemical industries, okay, as well as other okay industries. Okay, so that mechanical walls, okay, sorry, yeah, the walls were supposed to be replaced once in a year. I repeat, okay, the walls that were used in the chemical industries were supposed to be okay, replaced once in a year. So the repeat sale was limited, so only once in a year. So that's why his territory was right from Kolhapur, North Maharashtra, sorry, Southern Maharashtra till Harihar. So his territory was okay from Southern Maharashtra till Harihar in Karnataka. So since the wall was replaced once in a year, so order was placed by the customers, industrial customers only once in a year. So the limited repeat sale was limited. So that's why his territory size was larger. So territory size increases. Market development stage. So if it is a new market, there will be few customers. So in order to develop the market, okay. So if it is a new market, the number of customers will be few. Okay, so since the number of customers will be few, the sales rep can meet more number of customers. That's why the territory size increases. And if it is an established market, okay, and the company has more penetration, the number of customers will be more. And the amount of time the sales rep has to spend on each customer, since it increases, okay, the territory size decreases as he can meet more number of customers within a smaller territory. Market coverage, so selective coverage. Okay, so if the sales rep is required to meet, okay, selected accounts or selected customers, let's say for example only large sized industries, definitely the number of large size industry in any territory will be very few. That's why the territory size increases. Across a larger geographical area, a territory will be designed so that they can find more number of those selective accounts. Extensive coverage. Extensive coverage is, okay, so meeting as many customers possible. Meeting as many customers as possible. Okay, say for example in pharmaceutical marketing or even in FMCG industry. Okay, so some of the students have undertook their job internship in PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, so they can understand that the territory was smaller as they go for extensive coverage, as many retail stores as possible. Okay, they visit within a given territory. That's why the territory size decreases. Then competition. If the competition is intensive, okay, so generally the market will be oversaturated. Okay, generally, when the competition is very intense, it happens at the maturity stage of the product life cycle where the competition will be intense. So generally, the market will be oversaturated. So that's why the territory size decreases. And if the competition is limited, because the sales rep has to, okay, take into account the actions of competitors, and he has to spend more efforts and time into the territory as the competition is intense, the territory size becomes smaller. And if the competition is limited, okay, the sales rep can freely move around into additional geographical area and meet on keeping new customers. So that's why the territory size increases. Okay, so I hope with some examples, so we were able to relate how territory size is related to workload factors. Then software which, so that was part of the build-up method of a territorial design. Okay. So I think I'll just pause here, okay, for a couple of minutes, and if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay. Any questions? Okay, any questions from students on a build-up method of a territorial design? Okay, it looks like there are no questions. So then I'll just go ahead with the remaining part of the chapter. Okay, the second method of a territorial design is a breakdown method. So we'll go through, okay, the steps, and let us learn how a company designs a territory using breakdown method. So in this case, the management must determine on company sales potential, okay, overall as well as the company sales potential in each control unit. So I hope now you remember a control unit may be a state, a control unit may be a district. Okay. So then determine the sales volume expected from each salesperson. Okay. So first a company determines overall sales potential in the market. Thereafter it determines the sales potential in each control unit, let us say a geographical area like a district. Then the company tries to determine sales volume expected from each salesperson. So I hope it is not complicated, it is easy to understand. Then once a company determines the sales potential in each control unit, let us say in each district, okay, and the sales volume expected from each salesperson, tentatively set territorial boundary lines By combining control units, total sales potential equal to total sales volume expected. Then modify the territories as needed. Okay, so let us see the territorial design by breakdown method. So company sales potential. Okay, so if you can see this, first company management or company first determines the company sales potential overall. It is a $200 million is the company sales potential. Then second step, company determines the sales potential in each control unit. So here actually, and the sales volume expected from each salesperson. So in this illustration, they have considered the sales volume expected from each salesperson. So targeted volume per rep is at $10 million. Okay. Then the company determines the number of sales reps needed by dividing the company sales potential by the targeted sales volume per rep. So company sales potential is a $200 million divided by targeted sales volume per sales rep is $10 million. Okay. So is equal to 20. So 20 is the number of sales representative required to achieve the sales of $200 million. Okay, then how the territories will be set? Territory volume as. Okay. So sales potential in each control unit is also determined here. So territory volume as targeted sales volume per sales rep divided by company sales potential. So $10 million divided by $200 million is equal to 5%. It means each territory should comprise 5% of sales potential. I repeat, so you can go ahead and combine the territories till it becomes a sales potential of $10 million. So each sales territory should comprise 5% of total sales. I repeat, each sales territory should comprise 5% of total sales potential of the company, which is $10 million. So combine adjacent control units until each sales potential of $10 million. Let's say there are two control units. So one has a sales potential of $7 million and another smaller control unit which has a sales potential of $3 million. So in order to design one territory, the company can combine both the control units, which has a $7 million potential plus $3 million potential, combine them both to arrive at a single territory. So this is what is meant by combine adjacent control units until each sales potential of $10 million. Okay. So I hope this was relatively easier compared to build-up method. Okay, so this is the map of America. So divide sales territory for pharmaceutical sales reps, how it is done in US. The 48 states, okay, are formed into 5 to 10 regions and each region into several districts, as you can see. Then each district into 8 to 12 territories. Okay, so typically one rep per territory. So in India, so generally the pharmaceutical companies divide India into zones like South India and North India. And within each zone, let us say South India, they form regions. Say for example, Maharashtra and Goa is one region. Then Karnataka is another region, second region. Andhra Pradesh, third region. Tamil Nadu, fourth region. Okay, so in this order. And within each region, okay, so they will have districts as individual sales territory. Say for example, in Karnataka region, Belagavi, one district as one sales territory. Dharwad, second sales territory, second district or a second sales territory. So more or less, it will not be exactly same, but more or less the sales potential in Belagavi and the sales potential in Dharwad district will be same. And generally, a company allocates or assigns one sales rep in Belagavi and one sales rep in Dharwad. So in the same order, okay, a company designs sales territories within regions, okay, and within zones across the country. Okay, so I hope okay, the breakdown method of territorial design was easy to understand. So anyway, if you have any doubts, you can always ask me when I pause for a break. Okay, then there is a small part. Okay, how computers are used in territorial design, or how computers are used in sales territory design. Okay, so geographic information system (GIS) is used in territorial sales territory design. The geographic information system (GIS) combines multiple layers of information to provide in-depth understanding of a sales territory. So these multiple layers of information include, let us say, okay, the market potential or territory potential, market potential or potential of the territory, number of customers, classes of customers like A, B, or C, okay, the number of calls required per customer of each class, okay. So such information is fed into the system, and the system generates, okay, a tentative territory, or a system designs a tentative territory, but in the end the manager has to take a call. Then elements of a complete geographic information system, it includes softwares, hardwares, in data or information, and trained people, preferably software engineers, who will be working on this software. Then routing the sales force. Routing. What is the routing? Routing is the managerial activity that establishes a formal pattern of sales reps to follow as they go through their territory. Okay, say for example, if a sales rep whose territory is from Kolhapur in Maharashtra to Harihar in Dharwad. So in routing is nothing but, okay, in which route, okay, the sales rep should travel so that in minimum time he covers maximum territories as well as maximum number of customers. That is routing. So routing is the managerial activity that establishes a formal pattern. I repeat, a pattern, a way in which, a route in which the sales rep covers all the territories and customers. So routing is the managerial activity that establishes a formal pattern for sales reps to follow as they go through their territories. So during my experience in pharmaceutical companies, so the routing was done in this way. So first week of the month was always, okay, used to meet the A class customers, okay, in urban area. Second week, okay, of the second week, first and second week of the month were spent, okay, on meeting A B class customers, okay, in the urban area, and the third and fourth weeks of the month, okay, were used for meeting C class customers in semi-urban and rural areas. So that is the routing. Okay, routing reduces travel expenses as the travel pattern is optimized, and it ensures a more efficient territorial coverage. Some reps resent it as they have to strictly follow to that routing plan. They cannot change it. It is best for routine sales jobs, okay, like pharmaceutical sales reps or sales rep jobs in FMCG companies with regular call frequencies. Okay, so that's all about okay, sales territories in Salesforce management. So with this, we have come to the end of chapter number 13, sales territories from unit 5. Okay, so now I'm going to unmute you all. So those students who do not have questions, kindly mute your audio immediately. Okay, and only those students who have a doubt or question can please ask and clarify your doubts. So those students who do not have questions, kindly remember to mute your audio within a couple of seconds. Okay, so there is time given for students to ask questions and clarify their doubts. So there are no questions from students. So officially we conclude chapter number 13, sales territories. Okay, from unit 5. So I'd like to remind students that all the learning resources like the YouTube link, I will be uploading this video into my YouTube channel. So the YouTube link of the same video will be shared through Google Classroom as well as PowerPoint slides of the same chapter. Okay. So please remember to download the resources from Google Classroom and continue to learn and prepare for the semester end examinations. Okay. So in between also, if you have any doubts or questions while preparing for, please feel free to call me. Okay, and those students who have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I request them kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and remember to hit the bell bell icon for notification. So I'll receive notification every time I upload a new video. So okay, see you again on today's Tuesday. So see you again on Thursday. So with the last chapter from Unit 6. Okay, after which I'll be discussing 2 case studies from Salesforce management. Thank you one and all. And see you on Thursday.